in geography, chapter number 3, or this is chapter number 2. We are studying about the physiography and drainage of Brazil and India. In the last class, we studied about the physiography of both the countries, India and Brazil. Today, we will study about the drainage in India. Remember, in your textbook, when the physiography is given, first India is shown and then Brazil. But for drainage, first Brazil is shown and then India. What we will do for the entire course of geography is, for anything that we study, first we will look at India and then we will look at Brazil. For a simple reason, India is more familiar to us than Brazil. So it will be easier for us to understand the concepts, apply the concepts to India, and then we can use it for Brazil. Clear? Thumbs up if it is clear. So we are changing the order. We are not following the order in the textbook. We will look at drainage in India. Remind me, what is drainage? There are two pictures. You should be able to guess what drainage means. Drainage definitely doesn't mean nala. Drainage refers to the flow of water. Drainage refers to river systems. No? Flow of water and river systems. And we are not talking about a small piece of land. We are talking about a piece of land which is a country. So there are multiple rivers. They have some tributaries, they have distributaries. And they collect water from an area and drain it, take it to another place. So the area that they drain is called the basin of the river. And while it is moving, while the river is flowing, while the river systems are flowing, they follow a logic. It's not random. Can you tell me what is the logic? कहाँ से निकलेंगे, कहाँ तक जाएंगे? What is the logic? किस तरफ जाएंगी नदियां, नाले?
In ocean.
Okay, yes, but there is something more fundamental, and that is the altitude. The rivers flow because rivers are full of water. So they flow from the high altitude to low altitude. They follow the slope. जिस तरफ slope होगा, वो उस तरफ जाएंगे. And what happens is the oceans are at a low level. That is why rivers go down to the oceans. It's not that river is looking for an ocean. No. River is looking for a slope, downhill, जहां पर वो gravity से अपने आप नीचे जाएगा. Correct, Anushka? It's looking for the slope. So if we know the physiography, we should be able to tell what direction the rivers will flow. If we know the heights, if we know the altitudes, where are the mountains, where are the plateaus, where are the plains, then we can guess the direction of the rivers. But again, before we get into the details of the drainage, what does this cause, this flow of river cause? What is the impact? What is the consequence of the flow of the rivers? This you have studied, or you should have studied last year, and even before that. I'm looking for a word starting with an E. Impact of the rivers. Start a word starting with an E. Erosion. Flowing water breaks things. Flowing water takes things with itself. अपने बहाव के साथ it can take things. It can even break rocks. And this erosion is not bad. It is good in a way, because what follows the erosion is the deposition. If the slope is gentle, then the river will not be able to take everything that it has eroded. Then those eroded material, they get deposited. And this deposition makes the land fertile. The Great Indian Plains, they are fertile because there are rivers and they deposit fertile soil on its banks. Erosion and deposition. Please confirm that we have understood what drainage means. Water is flowing in the form of rivers and river system. The flow is always from high altitude to low altitude, and because of the flow, there is erosion and there is deposition. And deposition is necessary for us to have good agriculture, fertile lands. Thank you for the confirmations. So we have another new friend. Remember, we had met with two new friends last class, the physical maps of India. Another new friend this time. And this time the friend looks like this. Tell me on which page is this map in textbook? Tell me the page number.
21.
Okay.
21.
Okay, correct. Tell me, what do you see? What all different things that are shown in this map? I will give you a hint. 3 different things are shown in this map. Look at the map, study the map, and tell me what are those 3 different things. Chand is saying rivers. Nikhil is saying rivers. Yes, that's one.
Sources.
So,
Source.
No. What kind of source? The source is written in the legend. What kind of sources are shown? Study the map, not the legend.
Lands.
No, try again, Subham. Alfia is saying kilometers. No.
River and lakes.
Lakes is the second thing that has been shown. If you look at the top, Northwala, Lake Mansarovar, it's a lake. Lake Vular in Jammu Kashmir, right? Lakes. There is third thing that is being shown, which is not
Lake.
clearly mentioned.
Lake Sambar.
Yes, that is also a lake. So we have rivers, we have lakes. What is the third thing? Yes, Mushkan?
Ocean.
Ocean is there, but that is there just because the map is showing that area, right? But on the land, one more thing is shown on the land, on the mainland of India. Some mountains are shown. Some mountains are shown. Look at it carefully. When it says Brahmagiri in the south, Giri means Pahad. So 3 things that are shown on the mainland of India in this map are rivers, lakes, not all the lakes, lakes that are sources of rivers. And the third thing, some mountains are shown. These are the mountains from where the rivers start. And that is why in the legend it says source. So some mountain sources are shown, some lake sources are also shown. Very good. Another question. Make a list of important rivers that you can see on the map. Don't tell me, just write it in your notebooks. You have 2 minutes to do this. Later in the lesson, we will see if you were able to identify the important rivers or not. Right now, you are looking at the map. It shows some rivers, some lakes, and some mountains.
Done.
I have asked you to make a list of the important rivers. Okay, beta, thank you for the confirmation. I need 5 confirmations. I have not asked you to write the names of all the rivers. I will not ask you to do that. I'm asking you to look at the map, think, identify the main rivers. As we said, the rivers, they don't flow randomly. Rivers flow under the influence of gravity. Because of that, rivers flow from areas of high altitude to areas of low altitude. So that means if we are to understand the drainage of India, that is river system of India, we will have to know what is the physiographic features of India. From physiographic features, we can understand how the rivers will flow, which direction they will flow. Now tell me What are the 5 physiographic divisions of India? Refer to the textbook, refer to your notebooks and tell me. What is the first physiographic division? Move it fast. It will be fast if you speak. Himalayas, correct. What's the second one? North Indian plains, correct. What's the third one? Aarti, Anushka, thank you. What is the third one? The peninsula. Okay. What is the fourth one? Coastal plains. What's the fifth one? Islands. Good. Shubham, remember, I asked you to make a list of the rivers in the notebook. I did not ask you to send it to me. It takes time for you to type. No? That's why I didn't ask. So, if we know that these are the physiographic divisions, then we can make a guess. The rivers will start from the Himalayas. They will flow in the plains and they will reach the Bay of Bengal. Similarly, some rivers will start in the Himalayas. They will flow in the plains and then they will reach the Arabian Sea. And that is exactly what happens. When we study the drainage of India, we will study it in 2 parts. One, first we need to understand how are we classifying the rivers? What are those 2 parts? One group of rivers, they originate in the Himalayas, this part of the country. Remember? From north to south, greater to lower Himalayas. From west to east, we have the western Himalayas, the central Himalayas, and the eastern Himalayas. Remember this. So, based on where the rivers start, where the rivers originate, one group of rivers is called the Himalayan rivers, the Himalayan river system. You also have identified that we have the mountains on the western side and the eastern side, Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So rivers start on those mountains also. They are called the peninsular rivers. All the rivers in the peninsula of India, they are called the peninsular rivers. So this is based on where they are originating, whether they are originating in the Himalayas or they are originating in the peninsula. So far, so good? Clear or not clear? Then this map has to be constantly open in your textbook. And on the tab on the phone, you have to see what I am showing. And you have to listen what I am saying. Good. So let us study about the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. It's actually very easy, very easy. Right? So because the Himalayan rivers are in the north, we need to focus on the north of the country. Now you see there are 2 major rivers. Can you see the pointer on the screen? Can you see my pointer arrow?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation, Shubham. Now you see the one system of rivers. See, there is a crowd concentration of rivers here. So this is the Ganga river system. The major river is Ganga. The another river system is here. This is the Indus river system. You look at the map properly in the textbook. Also, if you notice, there is a river which is starting from the northern Himalayas. It is flowing east. It's called Sangpo. Then it turns south. It enters India. Then it flows in the opposite direction. It flows to the west. And again, it joins the Ganga river. This river is called the Brahmaputra river. So when I asked you to identify, make a list of the main rivers, I hope you could find out river Ganga, river Indus, river Brahmaputra. River Indus India se bhi pass karta. Then we have the Jhelum, Ravi, Satluj, Chenab. These are the main rivers. Another main river in the Ganga system is the river Yamuna. And most of you are from this part of the country. So you know about these rivers. You know more than me. Now, when we learn about these rivers in detail, what we learn is for the Himalayan drainage, for the river system that is originating in the Himalaya, the source of the rivers is glaciers. Glaciers means big chunks of ice. Glacier is river ice, river of ice. Gangotri is a glacier. Yamunotri is a glacier. Ganga river starts from the glacier Gangotri. Yamuna river starts from the glacier Yamunotri. Because they start from the glaciers, they are perennial. Perennial means like evergreen trees, evergreen forests. We have water in these rivers entire year. They are never dry. They never dry up. Why again? Because the source is glacier. Glacier में हमेशा पानी. But there is a catch here. In the summer, the summer is when heat is more. When the heat is more, the ice will melt. When the ice will melt, the amount of water in the rivers will increase. Also, this is the time when we have monsoons in summer. So here on one side, the glaciers melt more in the summer. On the other side, we are getting water in the form of monsoon rains. Because of that, most of these rivers suffer from floods. इनमें बाढ़ आती है almost हर साल. And हम सोचते हैं कि बाढ़, flood is a calamity, is a disaster. But unfortunately, beta, flood is something that is also required. जब बाढ़ आती है, when the water in the river increases, it spreads to a larger area. When it spreads to a larger area, it deposits the soil, the fertile soil. That makes the land fertile. And when the water recedes, हम वहां पर खेती कर सकते हैं. Flood is a natural phenomenon and flood is something which is necessary. अगर हमारा population कम होगा, अगर हम, if we use our natural resources properly, if our plan our cities and villages properly, then we will stay a little away from the river so that we are not affected by the floods. लेकिन flood भी जरूरी है. And clearly, the major river systems in this Himalayan drainage are the Ganga river system and the Indus river system. In the Indus river system, of course, the main river is the Indus river. It has 4 main tributaries: Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj. And along with Indus, if you count, you see there are 5 rivers: Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj. 5, Panj, Punjab. So this is the land of Punjab, which is blessed with 5 rivers, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 rivers. Of course, that land is very fertile. वहाँ बहुत खेती होती है अच्छे से. Where is this region? Where is the Indus river system? It is starting in the western Himalayas. Look at the map. Western, with respect to Indian perspective, not eastern. Eastern Himalayas are in the Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Central Himalayas are in the Uttarakhand. Western Himalayas are in the Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh. So these rivers start from the western Himalayas. They flow through Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh. They cross over to Pakistan. Rivers don't see boundaries. They just follow nature and they drain into the Arabian Sea. If you look at the map properly, you will also see that Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, they are almost parallel to each other. Can you notice that? Can you see that Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj are almost flowing parallel to each other, and all of them are combining into the river Indus. Now, among all these 5 rivers, the most important for us is the Satluj. Because this is the river which is making our state of Punjab and Haryana so fertile. It's one of the major rivers. It's big, longer than Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi. It is starting from a lake near Mansarovar. Mansarovar is a lake, but this doesn't start from Mansarovar, it starts from Mansarovar. The direction it flows is towards the west, of course. हिमालय से नीचे आएंगे, फिर उस तरफ वाले प्लेन में, वेस्टर्न नॉर्दर्न प्लेन्स में फ्लो करता है. And it is making the plains of Punjab extremely fertile by its deposition. If we have the map, then everything is clear. If we don't have the map, then we don't know. So we need the concepts and we need the map. When we marry them, then we will be able to understand what is happening. Next is the Ganga river system. If you follow the Ganga river, go towards north, you will find that it starts from a place which is called Gangotri. That is where the Gangotri glacier is there. If you look at it carefully, you will see that it passes through central Himalayas, Uttarakhand wala region. Then, in that place, it is flowing from, say, northeast to southwest. And then when it comes to the bottom of the Himalayas, foothills of the Himalayas, its direction changes. It flows along the North Indian plains from west to east. We have already seen it has 2 major tributaries, Yamuna, which starts not very far from Gangotri. It starts from Yamunotri. And the other main river, which is Brahmaputra. And Brahmaputra is a very, very interesting river because it starts from the near the Mansarovar lake. You see, it starts in Tibet, China, in the northern greater Himalayas. There its name is Sangpo. Then its name becomes Dihang. When it enters India, its name becomes Brahmaputra in Bangladesh, India. And together with Ganga, Brahmaputra is it is considered as a tributary of Ganga. Together with Ganga, they do a lot of deposition just before they meet the Bay of Bengal, mainly in the country of Bangladesh. They make a delta. That's a very fertile region. That is also a very flood-prone region. Try remember and tell me the name of this delta. A word starting with S. Thank you, Anushka. Sundarbans. Sundarbans, correct. Which are full of mangrove forests. Sundarbans. So Ganga river system and the Brahmaputra river system. Now Ganga river system also has some tributaries that are originating in the peninsula. Just look below the Ganga river system. You will see the rivers Chambal, Ken, Betwa, Shon, Damodar. Are you able to see, or you want me to show in the map?
Able to see, sir.
Yes. What is the direction of this river, Shubham?
Sir,
What is the direction of these rivers, Chambal, Ken, Betwa, Shon, Damodar?
in the east side.
No, they are going from, if we can say, they are moving from south to north. They are moving from, say, southwest to northeast. It is opposite to the direction of the Ganga. Once they meet Ganga, they all flow in the same direction. See if that is happening or not. All these are tributaries. I will show you it in the map. I will show that to you.
Sir, can you screen that one?
Yeah, I am showing it. You see, look at the screen. Are you able to see the map on screen?
Yes.
Yes. Now, Ganga, Yamuna, they are flowing from north to south, west to east. But Chambal, Betwa, Ken, Shon, they are moving from south to north. ऊपर जा रहे हैं. ऊपर नहीं है actually. By height it is not ऊपर. Because you remember the peninsula has the Deccan Plateau. So plateau से निकले ये लोग, उन पहाड़ों से निकले. So all the time the direction is from up to down. हो सकता है north to south, हो सकता है south to north. It can be east to west, it can be west to east. Very interesting is the path of Brahmaputra. See, it moves from west to east, almost parallel to the boundary of India. Then suddenly it takes a south turn because of the mountains here. And then it starts flowing in the opposite direction, west to east. वो अपनी मर्जी से नहीं, जहां उसको रास्ता मिला नदी वहां बह ली. Very adaptive rivers are. The other river system in our country, or not the river system, but the other source of rivers is the peninsula. So all the rivers that you see on the map here, they are the peninsular rivers. You would see Sabarmati, Mahi, then Narmada, Tapi. So many rivers are there. Godavari, Kaveri, in between Krishna, then Mahanadi. So many rivers are there. Let us study them in detail. Keep the map in front of you. Again, remember, there is a major water divide, and that water divide is the Western Ghats. Western Ghats are the mountains along the western coast, not very far. Because of these high mountains, not high, as high as the Himalayas, but they are high enough. Because of these high mountains, these high mountains also are sources of some rivers. Now, some rivers start from the Western Ghats and flow towards the west, and they drain into the Arabian Sea. Some rivers start from the Western Ghats, they flow towards the east and drain into the Bay of Bengal. हो सकता है ना, पहाड़ के दो स्लोप हैं. On the western slopes, the river flow towards the west. On the eastern slope, the rivers flow towards the east. Now, these rivers are fundamentally different from the Himalayan rivers, because these rivers are not originating from glaciers. There are no glaciers on the Western Ghats. Western Ghats are not as high as the Himalayan mountains. These rivers are rain-fed. मतलब इनमें जो पानी है वो बारिश का पानी. When it rains, it collects at some places on the mountains, and then it drains from there. And because they are rain-fed rivers, they are also seasonal rivers. बारिश के दिनों में पानी ज्यादा होता है. कुछ तो ऐसी नदियां होती हैं जो in the summer they just completely dry up if it is not raining. And because they don't have a glacier source, they don't flood that much. ऐसा नहीं है कि उनमें flood नहीं होता, उनमें भी होता है. One of the famous peninsular rivers, famous or infamous for floods, is Mahanadi, which is in the eastern part of the country. But the occurrences of flood is much less frequent. Now let us understand the west flowing rivers. First of all these rivers, the west flowing rivers, they are short and swift. Short means chota, swift means fast. याद करके बताओ ऐसा क्यों? Why are they short and swift? The answer lies in the physiography. Western Ghats are very close to the western coast. Western Ghats are very close to the Arabian Sea. तो उतनी जगह ही नहीं है for a river to become long. And yes, Chand, correct. The slope, the Western Ghats have a steeper slope on the western side. इसलिए भी fast है ना? So physiography influences the drainage. No rocket science, no mystery. Now, when we look at the west flowing rivers, we can divide them into two parts. One is the southern parts, southern regions, where we have Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, South Gujarat. Okay. Tell me at least one name of a river in this area. Can you see it in the map?
Tapi,
No. Wait. Let me show you in the map. You see, I've shown the map on the screen. Most of the rivers which are flowing westwards, western flowing. You see, they are so small that their names are also not properly written. Most of the western flowing rivers in the south. And the direction, you need not worry. Arrow बना हुआ है direction बताने के लिए कि नदी किस तरफ जाए. These rivers are very small. These rivers are very insignificant. But when we come to a little north, move north, then what we see, what Shubham was saying, we see the river Tapi, Narmada, Mahi, Sabarmati. They are in the states of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan. They are also part of the peninsular rivers. And you also see the river Luni. They are draining into the Gulf of Kambhat in the Arabian Sea. Gulf is a place which is almost covered by land from all the four sides. A water body that is covered by land by almost four sides. I will show it to you in the map. Look at the map. This is the Gulf of Kambhat. Okay. Please confirm. Okay. So western flowing rivers are small, they are fast. Remember, they don't make deltas, they make estuaries. We have studied this already. Now, when we come to eastern flowing rivers, they are longer and there are many more also. The main rivers are the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, from north to south. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. Mahanadi is in the northeastern part of the peninsula. Look at the map, find it. It's flowing from west to east. And it is draining into Bay of Bengal. South of that, you have Godavari, which starts from the Western Ghats, not from the Eastern Ghats, from the Western Ghats, but the eastern slopes of Western Ghats. Let me correct the spelling here. This is the second largest river system in India after Ganga. This is the second largest with respect to the catchment area. Catchment area means the area from which the water is being collected. It's very wide. South of Godavari, if you go further south, you have the river of Krishna, the river system of Krishna. And notice its two tributaries, Bhima and Tungabhadra. Even further south, we have another important river, which is river Kaveri. It is spreading from Kerala in the east to Tamil Nadu in the west. This is a very important river for these states. This is very important river for these states for irrigation. And because this river is flowing through so many states, the water of this river is always under dispute. उस कावेरी के पानी पे झगड़ा चलता रहता है between Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu to control the flow of the water using dams. I hope you have been able to identify all the major rivers: Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, and the tributaries of Indus: Satluj, Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum, then Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri on the eastern side. On the western side, Tapi, Sabarmati, Narmada, These rivers.